Hey guys, okie dokie. So I stretched out my videos from 1 through 8. I think 8 will be the final one. This is number 7. And then I gotta call it quits because time is winding. It's not winding down. It's done dead down. Okay. Let's see. So I had another pack of like ephemera like stuff, just paper to play with. I'll start off with this. This is part of this pack. After this, let me just tell you, I still have some more textile pieces. I've got a big stack of paper that's just from all over. Some of it's a little grungy. It's some of the leftover grungy pieces of my dye with some junk journaling stuff. I've got some oh yeah, and I just got some stuff. So let me just get started. I'm just gonna flip through this as fast as I can. No chatty Cathying, I promise. I really do promise that. I don't have time to chatty Cathy. Okay, anyway, this is a book of decorative alphabets and initials. So the fonts in here are in all sorts of styles. Victorian, shattered and decorated, from the Sylvester album in Paris. Oh, and I have a little tiny Paris pack too. I kind of gathered some smaller little gatherings for y'all, so I'll show those to you. So that's this book, and it's just complete with, there might be some pages taken out of this one. This one is definitely a craft condition. So in other words, you won't be able to resell it, but you can definitely cut and paste and color in and use this in. It's got some cherubs and 16th century woodcuts, French era designs, Westminster Abbey, 15th and 16th century. This over here is 1530. Woodcuts or might be inserted by the rubricator. Birds and beasts and flowers. Okay. So that's that part of this pack. Look at those. Isn't that crazy? That's pretty medieval looking, I'd say. But they're calling it Second Bible of Charles the Bald, written probably in the era of northern France. Okay, and then pretty. And I think, did I use all those cards? I had some cards that were like that oh, here they are. I got plenty of these. These I put in thank you packs whenever people buy, when I can remember, whenever people buy my, oh, that's a D. Look at that. Whenever people buy my Love This CL, isn't that pretty? Look at that. That's an A. Whoops. Look at the A. Isn't that cool? So whenever people buy my, and I use this when I was thinking about stitching in the monogram for my panel. I had kept out one of these R's for that. There's a TH. Anyway, looking at this reminds me of these cards. And just so you know, I do have playing card bundles in my Etsy shop. Those will stay there like for as long as until I run out. So not a biggie. So yeah, so there's that book, and there's the title of it if any of you want to snapshot that or order it. And then this is a collecting glass thing, a magazine from 1885 to 1935, and it's just got a lot of cool images for glue booking, for ephemera, for reference. And this came out of my mama's stuff because she was a glass expert, glass and china expert, and did a lot of homework. I have somewhere a ton of books, of reference books that she often referred to when she was selling. This is the kind of stuff my mom sold on her Etsy shop. Fenton glass and all that kind of stuff. She was very successful at that. Okay, so there's that. That goes with this pile. Then you've got, what's this? There's some ephemera in here. Here's some book pages. This is a colorful map of an old vintage map of South America. So that's in there. A composition empty book for a junk journal cover. And then some really beautiful old mathematic papers. And whenever I see this kind of stuff, I think of Jessica Rapp, because she did some really cool journals with math and sciencey kind of stuff. Okay, and then it moves into this vintage book. Like the other pack, these pages have quite a bit of, I don't know, they're just, they have, it comes from that old, like I said, that old, what year is this on here? That old encyclopedia that I used for the Harry Potter junk journaling kit that I put together. So, it had quite a bit of, they had quite a bit of images in them that I just cut them out and put them in junk journaling kits way back when. So anyway, so there's that. And this is really nice paper too. Very nice paper. All sorts of really cool images and things in here. So just something fun to scrounge through, not scrounge through, something to peruse. There you go. And then this is matte paper in plastic. I'm just going to take it out, toss that, because I have a ton of papers, like linen papers and cotton papers. This is just some matte paper to be printed on or used. You can dye it. Then I've got, I don't remember what's all in these things, guys. I don't. Let's see what's in here. This one has, there's some ledger. Oh, this one has all of this sort of kind of ledger, and I think I got this from Dolores Salazar. Look at that. So that's really fun. And it's yellow. There's some blank pages in here. Well, semi-blank pages maybe. I don't know. Yeah, that side, you can scan that and use it over and over and over again. Is my phone acting crazy? I might have to change this gorgeous cotton background here in a minute to keep my phone from spazzing out. Okay, so there's that, and there's that much of it, of the paper. I haven't touched base with Dolores, and obviously I'm not going to be peddling this stuff anymore, but if she ever sends me some of that orange, yellow ledger paper, I will definitely be sure to send it to those who have asked me about it, and it's 2 of you who are interested in that, I know. I have to send her a quilting pack because she's into quilting now, so I need to send her that. So these came from Sonia. And there's just these really big, beautiful old ledger sheets. So there's that. And then these came out of some ephemera I probably bought from somebody. And these are very cardboardy feeling. Here's some little ones. These are fun to dye. And then these bags are in there. They're Rubbermaid bags, and I'm leaving them in there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's a bunch. There's that much. Okay. Those were just in there. And some kind of stickers. Some phone while you were out. I love these. I love these. So while you were out. So it's a mix of old and 80-ish kind of thing. This is a insurance payment order. Excuse me. This is some more guest checks. I had scored a ton of these. I've never seen anybody else use this type. The 2 sheets. I found a whole box of these, and these were always in my stuff. There's some other ephemera pieces. Please leave with reception. Receptionist consultation, x-ray, injection, surgery, blah, 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 blah. Great for a nursing book. And this, and that's another thing while I'm showing you. This is all old stuff. I need to order at some point, not anytime soon, but at some point I need to order a journal for my sister. I was in talks with April at Pink Oddbird, but that girl is so busy that, you know, I'm pretty sure she hasn't had time to really even think about it. And I may still consult her for it than going somewhere else. But I need a journal for my sister, totally nursed out, because most of you know my sister has been a trauma nurse, an ER nurse for just as long as I've been teaching. And she recently graduated and got her master's degree. So she's trying to get into nurse practitioning, to find a job in nurse practitioning. I don't know what this is for, but there's a bunch of them here. And there's some cards in there. These are great for ephemera making. Just beautiful cards, yellow cards. So those are in there. Well, I guess they don't want to come out. They don't want to go back in. There we go. Just stick them in like that. And this comes with it with some envelopes that are really cute. And these are, I guess, where you make little cards and things like that. I like that kind of stuff. So yeah. So there's that. And then this pack comes also with, what did I call? Oh, this old music hymnal. I've taken pages out of it, but it's just a lot of old music hymn pages. And I'm not going to sing. I'm not going to sing. I'm not going to cuss. I'm going to hurry up, and I'm not going to chatty Cathy. I'm not. Okay, here's some. Let me open all of this. There we go. Okay. Okay. So this has just some little bits and bobs and pieces and images. There's the cute little kid. Here's some receipts. And I'm taking off. I'm going to delete my scans of anything that I've scanned. I can tell this. I know I've scanned that before. So I'm going to delete delete those scans. I'm not going to use them anymore or sell them anymore. So that way you have space and room to do what you will with these pieces. This is a really beautiful image. I like this. My great grandmother used to dress like that. She was so sharp and so responsible, you know, just a very stately, responsible, you know, black people, responsible. There's some ledger pieces. And these are more invoices. Those are really old. I like those. There's a pink one in there. And then some more checks. These are French. There's a little dictionary page. And then a lot of checks. And these came from Mr. McDaniel's estate. 1941. They're all canceled on the back. So those will be fun to play with, I imagine. And then, let's see, what else is in here? What is this? Oh, nothing. This is really cute. I'm going to leave this in here. That's a little heart. Whoops, sorry. A little heart vintage old Mr. Root from Harold Christie. I'll slip that back in there so it stays straight. Okay, anyway. I'm fumbling around with stuff, wasting time. Okay, there's that. And then here are some receipts. Cute little cowgirl and cowboy. Valentine's. What else is in here? These are vintage old papers that I found somewhere. These might have also come from Jessica Rapp. These are prescriptions. I think I had intended on, like I said, doing a nurse journal for my sister. Fruitcake recipe. And that's not for my family. I keep my family stuff separate. There's, unless I'm adding it in here, and Lord knows I've sold a lot of it. Even my great Amy's handwriting with some of her recipes. Things that I didn't want to keep and I know I would never make. Excuse me. It's really cute. Look at this tiny little dictionary papers. I still have the world's tiniest junk journal made by Jessica Rapp, guys. I'm not going to even try to pull it out. It's just amazing, that little teeny tiny book. Here's some... now this is not a tunic card like Jessica had. I don't think. It could be. But she had some tunic music cards, and those things are really pricey. They used to be. I don't know what they go for now, but they were. And this is some math paper. And let me add in that quickly. I got some. Let me just grab a handful down here. I'm just going to stick in some of these old music sheets, and they're kind of like the tunic. These are 1960. So I just grabbed a handful of those. Okay, to add to that. And then there's some ledger papers, pieces, ephemera pieces. These are great. Look at this handwriting on that. Isn't that beautiful? Cursive is just, I don't know, it's just fading slowly but surely. And I've told you guys before, and I know I'm being repetitive, when my niece was in private school, that was a big must. They had to learn cursive. And she has the most prettiest handwriting, and she can actually read it. It's very difficult, I think, when you write somebody something. I think I was talking with one of my buddies here about that, how you write something in cursive and the young people don't even know what it says. They can't, they can't read it because they can't read cursive. Excuse me. It's very dark here. I had to turn the, light on because of it's dark and rainy. It's very humid here. My hair is like a puff ball. It's puffed all the way out to the max. If I took the twists out, I would have almost a Michael Jackson afro. Look at that. Isn't that cool? The National Bank of Commerce. These are really nice little pieces. Oh, I'm going to save this one. Okay, I'm going to take that one out because I have to show you guys. I have a little tiny Paris. That's really pretty. Look at all that. Tiny Paris gathering. Pink papers. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful ephemera. That's got some pretty stamps on it. This is from French. This is all in French, this stuff. I got this from, I don't know, somewhere. Who knows? I can't remember. But anyway, there's quite a bit of it here. Just a lot of French ephemera. Lots of little papers and different colors. I love that. Look at that blue. This. Okay, you get the gist of it. There's more. I won't show everything because of time, but there it is. Okay, lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of ephemera. Here's a black and white photo. I'm not sure what these people are doing. I don't know if that's a ballet recital or what that is, but that goes in there. And then this, I don't know why I had that in there, but there it is. Okay, so this is number 88. Okay, I'll put this all nicely together and then I'll come back. Okay, this is number 188. This is video 7, and this is pack 188. Okay, and then let me show you the Paris. I shouldn't have this ledger on the bottom because I don't want to bend that. And these pages, okay. All right, that's 188. This is just a little collection of stuff. It's not a big deal, but some of you may want to work on a journal Paris journal. Let me grab my cold brew. I had to release another video. Okay, so This is just, dry my hands off. This is just, okay, let me just show you this part first. So this is an original letter piece with the Eiffel Tower there. And there's the back of it. It's just an empty card, handmade card. This was all neatly tucked away in a beautiful, you know, safe plastic paper. There's obviously that. Let me just stick that in there. Will it fit? Yes. So there's just cute little pieces. And then this fabric I found in my stash is really pretty. It's got Paris here, bonjour, and other sorts of beautiful images. The bicycle, some calligraphy font, some letters, some birds, lots of pinks and blacks and greens. So that comes with this. And this is a nice piece. It just needs to be ironed. But this book, I use this book, oh my gosh. And I didn't want to get rid of it. So I wanted to keep it so that I could keep making ephemera with it. But it's got the coolest images. Let me see if I can start from the back. Here's an old map in there. And so let me see. Let me get to the good stuff. Just the pictures. Let me see if I could do a quick flip through. Okay. This is all about Paris. There's the Eiffel Tower here. Beautiful bridges. Ah, it's got a color page in there. That's a piece of art. Lots of history here is what the book is. And I'll show you the front of it in a second. What I did, how I use this when I was making kits, is I would cut out some of these for my tattered thank you notes. Look at the, it's not a double Dutch bus, but it's kind of a double Dutch vehicle, cargo thingy. Not cargo thingy, you know what I mean, car. I'm still drinking my coffee. Oh, still trying to wake up. The humidity is so thick. There's the Statue of Liberty. I didn't cut that out. Look at this image. I love that. That's something that I would use in my stuff, in my journals, or in my thank you tattered notes, or in my kits, or packs, paper packs. This is really cool. It's got all the different kinds of, what do you call them, multicolor. They're saying down here on the sights of Paris, worlds of multicolored flowers, crinolines. I guess is what that was. I don't know. So you got some topographical images. There's more colored images of dresses and dance. Beautiful for journal covers and things like that. Ooh, it's thundering. Yeah, while I'm flipping through this, yeah, there's a lot of people in Kerrville, Texas. There's like the death toll, I think, is up to maybe 30. I'm not sure. I kind of don't want to even look or see or hear that, but it's very sad. A lot of people were camping. Young people were in campsites around there, and the river just sort of overflowed and just went into land spaces. I read somewhere, you know, all of you know how we've heard the tectonic plates and all of that, the San Andreas line, the fault line, at some point, like Los Angeles, will be underwater. Well, I read somewhere, or it was, I don't know if I read it or it was on one of the radio stations I listened to, reputable radio stations I listened to, that Texas at some point has the possibility to be submerged as well. I'm guessing it probably has to do with all the drilling, all the oil and fracking and drilling and stuff like that. But I think I believe that. I totally believe that because, you know, I mean, it's just signs around of what's going on with the earth. Okay, I'm stopping. I'm not going to say anything else because I'll start chatty Cathying and I don't have time for that. Let me show you these images here. So these are some really cool ones. Look at that. The images are just beautiful in this book. Just gorgeous. Look at this one. Look at those. Aren't those beautiful? Oh my gosh. Those are pretty. Saint-Chapelle. I guess is where that is. Very beautiful. Lots of really cool images. Okay, let me see if I can get through this rest fairly quickly. I love this book. I'll show you the front of it because I would definitely order this. I was lucky enough to find it at a thrift store that sells predominantly, mostly antique stuff, and the stuff is really pricey, but every now and then I could find something. Look at this gorgeous building, that structure. I could find something in there that was like, oh yes, I could cut and pop that into a junk journaling kit, and you know, artists can make ephemera with it or use it for the fronts of their cover of the, look at these gorgeous images. Isn't that beautiful? All that pretty color. Okay, let me go a little faster. This is a, oh, that's not good. Look at the architecture here. Excuse me. Oh, that's pretty. Beautiful buildings. Even these are gorgeous to be on pages. And the paper is matte. It's matte. There's no glossiness. I used to love to cut out coins and things and circle medallion kind of pieces in old vintage books and use those in my journals. I still love doing that. So there's the, let me give you a shot of this because this is craft condition, obviously, because I've used a lot of pages. But there's the title of it there, The Illustrated History of Paris and the Parisians. 900 pictures, many in color, including paintings, drawings, photographs, prints, and maps. That. So this is going to be lot number 189. Excuse me. I have a frog in my throat this morning. Okay, there's 189. And I've got two, let's see. Oh, let's see, I've got two of these. Now, this catalog, these are craft condition as well because I've used a lot of pages in these. This one, the paper in it is matte and really strong. Like you could use the page from here right as a junk journaling page. Okay, so I'm not going to flip through, obviously not this whole book, but it's got quite a bit of paper still left in it. And I always see books as paper packs, like paper packs. So let me just flip through a few pages. And both of these come together. They're not going to be sold separately. I'm skipping some pages. I have a book somewhere that's just a book of chairs. That's all that's in it. I need to find that. Look at that typewriter. I would totally cut that out and glue that down in one of my journals. Just because. That's what I'm doing in my Dolores Salazar's book. I just pick stuff I like and stick it down in there. Okay. So, look at the bicycles. The bicycles. Oh, look at these shoes. Interesting. Anyway, my great-grandmother used to shop for us out of a Sears and Roebuck, but then, you know, the malls became a big thing and were a big thing, and we went to malls a lot. My daughter was a runt. She was a spoiled little runt, and so were we. This one's older. This paper cracks. Can you see it? Here's the back of it. The cover's gone because it's just old. I scored this at a, I want to say a thrift store. And there's tons of pages. Now this paper, let me just do a test here to see. This paper cracks for sure, I bet. Well, no. It's holding up its own. It's making a liar out of me. Okay, well, that's good. It's very newspaper-y-ish. I keep going out of camera. Very newspaper-y-ish. There's some lace, Valentine lace. Look at the fonts. Oriental, Chantilly, Spanish laces. Embroideries. So this is a really fun book. 1897 Children's Spring and Suit Summer Wear. Okay, so there's a bunch of stuff. There's furniture, you know, all the Sears and Roebuck stuff. And I don't remember what date this was. 1968. Well, it's a 1897. Oh, let me try to handle it carefully. 1897 Sears and Roebuck catalog. 1968, I guess, was the publication, but it's, yeah, this is, it feels like newspaper. This would be good to glue down and, again, create those masterboard things that you guys create. Okay, so there are these two Sears and Roebuck catalog. And it's going to be number 190 for the two of those. Okay. And then I've got, let's see. Oh, and I've got this cute little lot. This is just really pretty fabric pieces. This is a gorgeous seersucker panel in yellow and white. There's a lot of it there. It's very pretty. I think it's a commercial piece, but feels really good. I think you could stitch with that, make covers with that. I added this unfinished, and I did not take the needle out. This unfinished embroidery piece. I've had this for a long time. And the stitcher, her needle is still in there. That's where I left it, so be careful. And it's ready to be stitched. It's a bear sweeping the floor. I love when that happens. This is my favorite. Oh, I love this piece so much. I shared this in a Happy Mail box. This is gorgeous. Look at this vase. This has all these different types of vases on it. There's this one, excuse me for clearing my throat in the phone like that, and there's this one, and there's this one. It's just so pretty. It's got this pink. This would be my grandmother's favorite colors, this kind of stuff. My grandmother loved like pinks and oranges, which reminds me of Kate in the Nest. I love her so much. All those beautiful bright colors that she uses reminds me of my grandmother, because that's the kind of color my grandmother, the quilt maker, liked. And then my great-grandmother was, I'll show you her colors here. And then this has a pink, two pink linen pieces. These make great stitching panels. They're very bright and very neon-y. There's some purple edging there. And these are beautiful linen pieces. So that's in there. Lots of color in this lot. And then these panels are gorgeous. I had these in my stitchery boxes a long time ago. This was an old table runner. And so I love this old pretty pattern. Very retro, very throwback and very retro. I was so happy to find these again. I was like, oh yeah, I have those. And then the flowers would just be really beautiful to stitch into. And it's cotton, I think. And then here just some fun, quirky food. Apples with worms, pears with a little worm in it. Pizza, ice cream, cake, cupcakes. There's the worm. Messing up stuff. It's got strawberries, I guess that's a plum, oranges, wieners, pizza, cookies, lollipops. That's just a quirky, fun piece, and there's a remnant of it there. So kind of kitchen-y. And then these I forgot I had. These would be my great-grandmother's favorite colors that she loved, pinks and greens. And every picture, I've been sort of digitizing my family history, my family's photographs. Almost in every picture, my great-grandmother, except for the picture I have on Instagram of my grandmother, my great-grandmother, and my great-auntie. She's wearing this blue and white. But almost all the pictures have these colors, these bright greens and pinks and yellows, these pastel colors, mostly pinks and greens, everything. Yeah, that she had. And then there's some purple. So these are pretty. They're just little panels. There's several of them. They're edged out with pinking shears. Oh, there's an orange one. I didn't see that in there. So there's one orange one, green, yellow, and purple. So, oh, and then this lot comes with some cookbooks. This is kind of a domestic arts kind of pack, we'll call it. This comes with some really cool recipes, and there's several of them in there. This little boy's brushing with baking soda, Arm & Hammer. Baking soda advertisements, little sleeve advertisement. Here's a little card. New York, some Church and Dwight Company. Oh, Church and Dwight Company, Cedar Street, New York. And then it's got these soda biscuit recipes in there. Excuse me, carrot pudding, hard sauce, fruity fantasy, fruit cobbler. Oh my God, I just thought about my great-grandmother's peach cobbler she made from scratch. Oh my God, it was so delicious. Anyway, Honey Delights, chipped chocolate cookies. I'm not making that up. Ornamental icing. I don't know what that means. Sunshine cake, orange coconut frosting. Spice crumb cake. That sounds good. Old-fashioned gingerbread. That really sounds good. Applesauce cake, and yeah. So these were probably advertisements for Arm & Hammer baking soda and given out. I'm going to slip this in here. They come with these cute little old vintage envelopes. So if you are a textile artist or a junk journaler or both, you've got those in there. And they're all, oh, this is another one. This one has these two. Oh my God, castor oil sandwich. Ooh, that's crazy. I don't know about that. Baking soda, a friend in need, and it's got this little image of a boy at the sink, I guess about to brush his teeth. And this one says good things to eat. And let's see what this one has in it. Bran muffins, lemon clover rolls, Mammy's cornbread, orange raisin muffins, orange bread, old-fashioned brown bread. But do you see that, Mammy? Oh boy. Anyway, I don't think we've evolved that much as a country. The United States of America, I'm talking about. We just haven't. Everything's just backwards. Anyway, griddle cakes, pineapple fritters, crisp waffles. Ooh, my great grandmother could make some good old waffles. Oh my God. And she gave us coffee when we were little. We had our own little tiny little coffee cups, my brother and I. And we thought we were just the shit, man, drinking coffee with our great grandmother. Chicken shortcake, fluffy gingerbread, Dutch apple cake, date and nut bread, and that. Okay, so let me find the envelope for that one. Those are with this pack, and I think it's the same in these. They're all the same. There was a ton of them. That's a good eat one. That's a good eat one. Same. So they're all the good eat ones. There's only one of the other one. Okay, that's going to be lot number 191. It's really fun. Fun. It's eclectic. Okay, there's that. And then I've got, let's see, that's a 191. I've got, oh boy, how am I going to get this big old hunkin' thing of paper up on this desk? Well, let's just go for it. What am I doing for time? Okay, I got time. This is just a big thing of paper. So, let me put it down and I'll just show you one piece at a time. Okay, this has, let me turn it all over. All of these grungy pieces of, oh my God, I don't even know why the cereal box is in here, but it's in there. There's an old cornflake cereal box. Maybe that was going to be a journal cover of sorts. Some papers, something I dyed. This is just a lot of junk. Here's some Braille paper. Here's some of my tea dyed paper, coffee dyed paper. Something I dyed. Grunge. Lots of grunge. Coffee dyed grunge, pieces and pieces of grunge of coffee dyed stuff. So, you know, you think of Sagita when you're thinking about this. And here's a pack. I'm not going to even go through it. It's probably stuck together. That's a lot of bags that I dyed, paper bags that I coffee dyed. This is a signature pattern of mine. So I dyed this, oops, it's ripped, but there you go. So that's just a bunch of grunge. If you're interested in this thing, now you might not be, but it is what it is. And then this is paper, and these are large pieces. I tried to put them together. This is a sketchbook, and so these are really big papers. So there's that, okay. And that's avocado dyed stuff. And then I put in here this drawing paper. It's like a whole pack of it. Let me just show you. It's not even open. I just opened it. Okay. This is just old paper that I think would be really cool to dye. And there it is there, what it is. Your artist drawing paper. Okay, so there's that. And then there's this lot of paper. This almost looks like it's avocado dyed, but it's not. So there's that stack of paper. And this paper is pretty cool. Oh, let me show you. I put this in here. This is a big, humongous pad of ledger that's not used. It's not written on, just a big ledger. This would be really cool to dye as well. Okay, so there's that big hunkin' thing in there. Wait, let me put this together. And then this paper is, I think this is Japanese paper, but it's really light for calligraphy. Very light paper. I thought this would be really cool to dye as well. And it's really big. Good for calligraphy, good for dyeing. It's got a nice ink spot there at the bottom. And here's some of the edges. So it feels like fabric. Can you see those edges? Feels like fabric. Let me tear a piece and see. Yeah. Okay, so it's a lot of it. It's big. This is big paper. Everything in this pack is big. There's that much of it. That's cool for dyeing, I think. And then I put the last of my Mexican paper in here. There's that much of it. For those of you, a lot of ladies have loved on this paper for a long time. I think there's like 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. I think there's 3 pieces in here. 3, I think. Could be 4. And I don't want to fold it too much because that's your job. But there you have it. And this paper does have, and yes, I'm going to say texture, but that's what it has. A lot of texture. I love the way Kate in the Nest says it, texture. Okay, there's that. And these came from, I have one other thing to go with this pack. These came from Jessica Rapp. I supported a lot of her sales, like we all do. You know, a lot of people have supported me, and so, you know, I always try to go back and support other artists. And these are beautiful calendars. My intention was to use them in junk journal kits as the paper part of the kit. So my kits came with really pretty much, well, they came with everything. They came with paper, needle, thread, buttons, pins, clips, fabric, a book, gutted book, sometimes a whole book, lots and lots and lots and lots of paper, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And so I had ordered these from her, and they're just gorgeous. You got a bookmark in there. The papers aren't written on. They're beautiful images of ducks. But this is what I like. This here, I think it's cool in junk journals. So it's just beautiful. They're beautiful calendars. This one is 2002. Yeah, 2002. And these are the images of, let's see, does it give, oh, here it is. I'm almost feeling like I should do these separate, but I'm not. It's just going to come with that this whole stack. Because I got one more eclectic piece to add in here. So let me show you how many I have. These are in beautiful condition. I love these. I just love them, but I never used them because, you know, when you're teaching college, university classes, yeah, life gets, it just, you know, beautifully. Life is kind of, that's what it's all about. So I kind of dropped the ball on using these, but there's 2002, 2001. I love this one. Look at the ducks on that one. 1999. That's really cool. I don't know if they all have bookmarks in there, but they are just gorgeous. There's another 2002. Let's see. I think what I'll do is take out one of these 2002, this one, and put it aside in case somebody else is interested in just one of those. But the rest of these are going to go with this paper pack right here. And there's 2004. Okay. And then finally, in this big paper lot, it's a heavy, it's a big one, are these Better Homes and Garden journals. These are from Mr. McDaniel's estate, and they're just chock full of old paper images. These are good for, whoops, I just ripped it. Sorry. These are, oh, I'm ripping it. Okay, let me put this down because I'm not doing it any good. I'm just ripping the page. Okay, so there's that. Lots of images. I think there might even be some coupons in here. It's just a lot of advertisement. Yeah, old coupons, tacos. Okay, I need to stop because my hands are just, refrigerators, all that old domestic kind of stuff that you get in a Better Homes and Garden. And look at those coupons. Those are put kitchen journals or recipe books, just for something fun to look at. Okay. Just lots of old advertisements. I also have some really tiny Reader's Digest. So there's that one, 1975. This one, 1976. This one, 1973. 1975. And this one's got some other papers and I don't know, some pieces in there that I left in there because I did use some of these. This has, look at the Tabasco sauce. Look at the old car. This would be really cool for glue booking. Okay, so there's that one. Look at the banana. That's cool. That's the kind of stuff I would cut out and put in my Dolores Salazar book. That kind of stuff right there. Lime juice, Rose's lime juice, West India sweetened, reconstituted lime juice. There's the karate shaving stuff, or whatever that was for men back then. And then this one has Liz Taylor on the front. Big toothpastes, big images that, especially for glue bookers, I think would be fun to cut out. And it's got, you know, oh, look at the avocados. Yum, yum, yum. Little kittens in there. The cigarettes. There's another coupon. I hope y'all are seeing that. That cheesecake looks really delicious. Love cheesecake. Yum. I don't know, were those fried green tomatoes? That's what it looks like. I'll eat anything fried. Look at the cute kitties. Okay. How are we doing for time? 52. Okay. So, yeah. That's this lot. And I'm going to put it back in that big old brown paper. 192. Okay. So, all of that. That's a lot of paper and a lot of junk journal stash fodder. Okay. Then, quickly. Oh, my gosh, guys. Oh, I have this lot here, and this all goes together. This is a science discovery book, kids book. I'm not going to flip through the whole thing because I'm almost at an hour, but this book is really, really interesting. It's about gardening and teaching little kids what to look for as they're gardening. This is very cool throwback for science for children. How to care for little bugs and animals and rocks and earth and minerals and things like that. Okay. Then this lot comes with these coloring books. So you've got birds, and these are dated. These are Ruth Heller's. Dang, guys, you probably can't hear that thunder, but it is booming and booming and booming. This looks like it's 2009 printing, but the initial printout of her stuff was 1979. So these are just coloring books that have these really cool pages of images to color. And this one, I think this one is called Birds. There's that one. This one is Butterflies. And then this is Favorite Poems for Children, a coloring book. This one is a Susan Gaber. That's dated 1980. Oops, I skipped some pages, but that's okay. And this one has poems in it with the color images, with the images to color. So that's kind of, I think, a cool teaching moment for babies. Okay, there's that one. 3 coloring books. And then you get a host of these highlight books. I have been gifted some of these, and a lot of them I saved from my thrifting. And I won't go through all of these, but this one is October 1986. This one is May 1989. This one is July, August 1985. 1988, June. 1989, November. 86, including an index, it says. December 86. January 1986. 1987. May 1987. June 1985. October 1984. May 88, December 89, March 88, October 89, September 88, November 88, and August 87. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 of these. Okay, and they go with these and this discovery book that needs a really good dusting. And this is going to be lot number 193. Okay, and let's see, I got time for maybe one more. Oh, I have, I don't know if anybody is interested in, hold on, let me get this together here. Interested in these readers. This is a vintage reader, The Wonder World of Science. It's children's books. Nice cover. I like that. This one is Trails to Treasure. Lots of images here. Let's see, Farm and City. Very cute. Look at the quilt. Isn't that cool? There's a new baby, so everybody's doting over the baby. So there's that one. I love these little tiny images. To just decorate a page in a book, in a journal, in a corner or something. That's Farm and City. And then the last one is, oh, I have one more. Do I have one more? I don't know. I think the last one is On Cherry Street. And again, that's the Dick and Jane kind of feeling. Alice and Jerry kind of thing. Okay, so those are... let's see, that's a lot of 4 books all together, and those will be $194. I left this one out because it's obviously not on cue. Let's see. Okay, it's $194, And then I have 3 of these left. And this is the young folks, and these are just books with great covers. Not a lot inside. Lots of brown paper. And then a red one. And those will be lot 195. If anybody's interested in those. Those are pretty nice. The covers are wonderful. Okay, and then let's see. Oh, and I have, so I'll come back with video 8. Oh, Lord, because I still have more fabric packs. Anybody interested in these cards? They're French and Le Coup. Yeah, so there's a stack of those, and in this stack is a ton of these with some coin. Some of these coin tubes. But let me show you what these cards are in here. These are history cards, and that's them right there. And I imagine that a lot of these cards are definitely challenging, but it's really interesting. I'm not sure we'd be able to read some of these history cards and not see that we're in a different time period. At the rate things are going, it's like, wow. Have we like traveled back in time? I think we have. So these are like history cards. Non-stop transatlantic flight. And they're trivia. When was the flight made? By whom? Where did the flight start and end? Who made the first solo flight across the Atlantic? And then there's the answers there. Lindenberg, obviously. As far as we know. Could have been somebody else, but they just hit it. Okay, I'm not going to start. All right, so that's a whole box of that. And there's a lot of coin tubes in there too. Okay, that's going to be lot number 196, and I'm going to cut this video, and then I think I can squeeze in the last of the last in video 8 and then call it a day, so that I can get your invoices out to you, get your stuff mailed out to you, and I can get to work. Okay, I'll be back. Thank you.